Hi, today I'm going to walk you guys how to optimally tune the fourth axis stabilizer. When you receive this stabilizer, there's only two things you need to worry about. There's a little screw right here with a big kind of plastic Teflon washer. This one is a dampening control, so it basically controls how fast this the return of the fourth axis. So the tighter it is, the slower it returns. The looser it is, the less resistance I have, and then the quicker it returns, and sometimes it gets out of control. It will just keep on bouncing and then till the spring kind of stops. So what you really want to do is have it just enough that when you have the stabilizer set up, it only bounces about one time, maybe come down a little bit. If you want really smooth footage, you want it to kind of bounce up a little bit and then kind of stays there and maybe droops a little bit. So you want it to be loose, very loose, but not enough that it will just keep on bouncing. So that's one of the trick is if you want the least amount of like work, you just want to walk casually, then have this tension, the dampening tension, as loose as possible without going like multiple bounces. So maybe 1.25 is acceptable. Like it bounce up, let's see, bounce up and comes down a little bit. How it just did that, kind of bounce up and comes back just a little bit. So I think that's the loosest that you want, and that's really good at just like regular walking. See how I'm just walking, the camera pretty much stays there. If it's too tight, the camera will go up and down as you're going, moving. So you want it so it just sits there, and then one of the indicators is that the camera just sits there as you're walking. You see how my arms are moving? Let's say this is you're walking, but the camera pretty much stays in the same spot. So that's what you want. And then the next thing is there's a little wheel here that controls the stiffness or like the spring tension of this fourth axis. So if you turn to this side, the right side to this, it gets stiffer and it goes up. The camera will go up. If you go to this side, the left side, then it will loosen the tension. So if you look at it at the fourth axis, there's probably about like a 5 degree going up. You could actually have it even lower. The lower it is, the less bounce resistance that the spring has for your camera, and you get smoother footage. So the number one key is to avoid this fourth axis from bottoming out. So you don't want it to bottom out. So you could just do some test walking. As long as it doesn't hit the bottom, then you're okay. So you want it to be like as low as possible. Like right around here, if you want to just casually walk and get really smooth footage, you just that's one of the key thing. If you want to just like casual walk, don't want to do these like ninja walk and extend your arm, then keep it as least amount of resistance and the spring tension. If you just casually walk, you probably not going to be have too much shock. But even like this, at this angle, even when I'm like running like this, it's still not going to bottom out. So you could pretty much right around here, like 5 to 10 degree. I would even go like just maybe 3 or 4 degree like that if you just mostly doing casual walk. And that way it will have the most amount of freedom to compensate for the movements. So yeah, so this is one of the best way to tune your fourth axis. I have one more little trick, is if you could put it on a handle. So right now you see how I don't even have a handle, so you want a handle. So if you want to comfortably and casually walk and get very smooth footage, you want to attach the little handle. It does come with a handle, but Like this one, this is the selfie stick handle. So this one will just give you slightly more leverage in the front, and you just hold it like this and you just walk. And this way will give you slightly more leverage. I mean, like it actually helps you get more of dampening because of the lengthen of this, you know, the lengthening of the selfie stick of this handle right now. And then if you want even more smoothness, then you just, all you have to do is just extend this little selfie stick just a little bit, not too much, just like that, and it will actually absorb even more. So it's kind of like how one of the video I show you guys, that if you extend your arm, it actually helps you soften a lot of the bumps. So if you just have this selfie stick extended just a little bit, so you're a little bit more comfortable, and keep this little stabilizer around like 5° positive, and then have it kind of not too tight. Make sure it just bounces up, but not too many times, you know, not oscillating. You just want it to like soft enough that it comes up, but it doesn't do like multiple oscillation. So this way it will actually dampens the footage. You know, you're running or even walking pretty good. So yeah, this is how you would get the best footage, and just walk casually. For a lot of you guys, you know, just want casual walk and good footage. And the other thing is that you want to make sure your phone, if you have an iPhone, you want to set it to enhance stabilization. So that's very important, because you don't want the action stabilization. The action stabilization is supposed to give you even better stabilization, but however, it actually crops in too much, and it actually kind of like not good for the image quality. So I typically stay away from the action stabilization. I just use the enhanced image stabilization on the iPhone. So you just go into your cam control, and then you look for I think video setting, and then image stabilization, enhanced image stabilization. Some of you may have a dual suspension for your 4th axis or your 4X Pro, and this is a 4D Pro that's gonna come out soon. As you can see, same way, I'll tune the 4th axis just about like 5° above the horizontal. So this is a horizontal. If you look at it, this is perfectly horizontal, and then this is about maybe 5° above. So just enough so when you're walking, you could do all kind of running. It still won't bottom out. So your number one thing is that you want to make sure it doesn't bottom out. That's it. So the closer you are to, you don't want it to be too stiff. If it's like up here sometime, then it doesn't have enough. It's too stiff. So you know how, like, if you have a friend with these like a sport car that tune their suspension really stiff, you feel every bump as it goes through these like potholes. So we want like a sedan tune for your suspensions. So we want something a lot smoother, a lot more forgiving. So you want if you only have one phone, and let's say your phone is slightly heavier than what the 4th axis could support. So here's my suggestion: if you could, if one suspension could support the extra weight, then just use one suspension. Don't use dual suspension if you don't need dual suspension. The reason why is because the shot housing, there's like oils inside, and the oil is a dampening feature, so it actually will slow down the return of this action. So if your camera setup is barely over the 4th axis stabilizer by itself, if you could just support it with one one shot, one suspension, then just use one. In this scenario, we need two because the gimbal is much heavier. So this one works really well. Look how the 4th axis cage is moving up and down. But this phone is mostly stationary. Yeah. So that's what you want. You want to have a lot of response, but not too much response. So again, look at here. If I let go, it just bounce once and maybe it comes down just a little bit. So that's what you want. Yeah. Once and then come down just a little bit. So this is how you would want to set up your dual suspension. Also, there's a little knob here on both the suspension. If you turn it to this way, it will actually compresses the spring, so you actually get more strength. So let's say if there's too much, you know, you can play around with this. If there's not enough power, I mean, you want more payload capacity, you could push this little knob and adjust it downward, and then you get more strength to, you know, support the payload. So yeah, comment below, hit the like, subscribe, let us know if you have any questions. Thank you. Peace out.